Folks, today we're going to get into the Arvada, Colorado shooting that was carried out by an anti-cop, what I'm assuming is a Tom Zebra follower, from the area of Brandt. So let's get into the video. This officer here is just walking along, minding his own business. This car right here pulls in. Warning, it doesn't show anything, but it is graphic in its nature. No, it sounds like somebody like John Langley. Rest in piss. He gets out of the car, he's got his gun, he runs over, and he shoots that officer dead. Boom. Runs back to his car. And apparently a good Samaritan, a good guy with a gun, was shot by police, and he was the guy who shot this guy. So apparently you don't have any gun rights, even when you think that you do. So this guy casually walks back to his car, reloads. He was shot by a good guy with a gun. I don't see how there is any good guys with a gun. And the officers showed up to the shooting and shot that person. So they shot the good guy. So they searched his apartment here, and the guy wasn't exactly living in luxury. They found all kinds of anti-cop rhetoric all around his.
When the cop takes that first payoff, he's a criminal. Shit. There's no fuzzy line there.
Oh shit. All right.
Officers raided a unit here. Today, an up-close look. A door busted in, glass shattered. Michaela Sawaya and her mother watched it all unfold from her kitchen window. There was fear officers were looking for an explosive device.
You could hear them marching all at once. It was just crazy. They had huge guns. They thought really was a bomb. We would have all been dead.
The raid took place shortly after veteran officer Gordon Beasley was killed in Old Town Arvada, less than a mile away.
They went into this one here, and they had guns drawn at right there. Yeah. And I was like, what's going on?
The people who live here were taken by surprise. That was very much the case when SWAT officers went inside this unit belonging to Marcus Lucas.
They're right here. And they told me to go to the back room just in case there was any firing going on.
Turns out no one was inside the unit, which we were able to see from a walkway.
What a
inside
pig.
This sparsely furnished room, a recliner, table, and bed. Shoes thrown on the floor. Many weren't sure if the raid had anything to do with the shooting just a few hours earlier in Old Town. Neighbors startled here, to say the least.
Right here in my place, my house? So yeah, I couldn't believe it was just right here.
The people who live here were told to evacuate because of possible danger. They're back home now, but still have so many questions.
Okay.
Your local Ford stores are...
This guy, as I showed you in the video, hates fucking cops. He's probably been indoctrinated by the people that the First Amendment auditors, the Frauditors, the Tom Zebras, the whole movement, the High Desert, Felipe Hernandez, Felipe Hemming, all those people who on YouTube create drama and create situations and yell at cops and stand in post offices trying to get a reaction from people. This guy was probably super influenced by Tom Zebra and Brandt. So let's see this video here.
Ben Ronald Troike Monday, when members of the document, but a law enforcement source tells me it's a 4-page handwritten letter that outlines some anti-police rhetoric, and it's why the Arvada police chief was willing to say yesterday that Officer Gordon Beasley was shot simply because he wore a police uniform. The Problem solvers were at the apartment of the dead gunman, Ronald Troike, Monday, when members of the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office executed a search warrant. It's inside the apartment that investigators found a 4-page anti-police manifesto that provides some answers as to why Troike would shoot Arvada police officer Gordon Beasley.
I can tell you that Gordon was targeted because he was wearing an Arvada police uniform and a badge.
On Tuesday, the Arvada police chief confidently said Officer Beasley was targeted simply because he wore the uniform. He didn't say how he knew that, but now we know it's because of the 4-page handwritten note Troike left behind.
Officer Beasley was ambushed by a person who expressed hatred of police officers.
While the letter doesn't name Beasley, we've learned it did target Arvada police specifically, though we don't know why. Criminal records for Troike show a misdemeanor assault conviction in 1992 and the driving while impaired in 1994,
Check his
both out of Gilpin County.
on YouTube. He's probably
but nothing from Arvada. He did file for bankruptcy in 2013. Troike was last known to work as a truck driver for Pacific Trucking for less than a year in 2019 before he voluntarily quit. It's not known where he might have worked for the past 2 years. His neighbors seem to know nothing about him, and neither did Arvada police, who tell the problem solvers at this time they're unaware of any prior interactions with Ronald Troike.
We are hurt.
Maybe somebody who sat behind his computer and watched Tom Zebra and Eric Brandt videos.
We are committed to the protection of
got
this
all
community.
Worked up about cops.
We did reach Troike's sister by phone today. She would only say her family is grieving. We've learned that Troike had a concealed carry permit, but it expired some 2 months ago on April 15th.
So gun laws do work. So anyways, in connection to that, here's another case of a man fatally shot 2 black people near Boston. Prosecutors say they found white supremacy rhetoric. Now, you can find this white supremacy rhetoric all over Tom Zebra's chats, all over Tom Zebra's postings, all over Tom Zebra's videos. There's definitely a catering to an alt-right conservative January 6th insurrectionist, libertarian, incel, misogynist, xenophobic, I don't know how many other red flags, gun nuts, Second Amendment, fucking NRA people, anti-government, anti-taxes, anti all that shit, and they get ginned up by people like Tom Zebra, who like gives them a platform and allows them to keep talking about their issues freely, and anyone that has any differing opinions than them is instantly kicked out or hidden from the comments, and you never know if you're being heard or not. They don't care. They don't want to hear from the other side. They have they're one-sided. We know this. This is what they have proven over and over again. They hate cops. It's all about them. They hate Antifa and Black Lives Matter, and they hate any like peaceful movement. They think it's time to get violent. Obviously, we learned that on January 16th or January 6th this year, which I think is absolutely a historic moment. And I keep trying to call out these cop watchers on YouTube, and why are they fucking monetized? They get ginned up, and then they go out and they commit crimes like this guy, Nathan Allen, who was a white supremacist, wrote all kinds of white supremacy doctrines and shared all kinds of right-wing memes and stuff. And he decided to crash a car into somebody's house where it was a Jewish neighborhood, and so he was going after as many as he can, and he got out of the car and shot 2 black people, the first 2 black people. There were other people in the neighborhood, Jews, everything, but he called them out and shot them dead. This is the kind of stuff that Tom Zebra's YouTube page perpetuates, this kind of hate and violence. It's obvious. It's very obvious. You see these things, being played out. You see that, there are people that live like this, and, their whole thing is YouTube and fuck the cops. The cops are responsible for all these problems, and I'm just gonna go out and I'm gonna go fucking, ambush a cop because Tom Zebra told me to. Like, this is so incredibly fucking scary, and I keep trying to raise these red flags, and it's just falling on deaf ears. So, I mean, there's countless examples on my page at Garth Nader on Twitter. I mean, his hero, Eric Brandt. Oh my gosh. Let's listen into this one.
Get shot lead in the face, motherfucker!
Yeah.
I'm not leaving the property, Fuckleberry! You don't own me, motherfucker! The judge would look better if his brains were splattered all over his children's faces.
Huh?
And I have to say, Eric did make a good point.
What?
How dare you threaten acts of violence? I can't say I disagree with him. This is why I now advocate for the random shooting of judges.
Wow.
Judges have absolute immunity.
Colorado.
Nothing that they do
Lakewood.
can be held accountable for.
Denver suburb. Arvada.
Like that accountable is to execute them. I
Yikes.
can't say I disagree with them.
Yikes.
So now, did I just commit a crime? Am I going to prison now? Because I said I don't necessarily disagree with Eric. Does that mean I'm a criminal?
Yes.
Kill every fucking cop in Rockwall County. You don't have a cop in Rockwall County. Why? Because you earned it. The wages of treason is death. I'm talking about the day that your family goes to your fucking funeral and everybody's like, oh my God, it couldn't have happened. He's so sweet. He's so good. We love him so much. Yeah, that's the day that the guy gets what he deserves. What's he gonna be arrested for? And you wonder why people are fucking shooting cops every day. I hope you catch hot lead in the face, motherfucker. I could think of at least 25, 30 cops. I would line them right here in a row, and I would shoot every single one of them in the fucking head and be done with all those 25, 30 cops. Be done with them. Does anybody know what happened with Eric Brandt? I think he got sentenced yesterday. Yeah, he got 12 years. Are you allowed to say that judge deserves to be hanging from a bridge? I personally think he should be hung from a bridge.
Well, there you go. Do you need any more proof? I mean, come on, just check out my the Garth _Nader. I mean, this is the way this guy lives, like this. This guy lives like this. I mean, come on, man. I'm throwing up red flags. I'm trying to tell you, this guy says he has guns and he's gonna shoot people. He said he's gonna shoot me. What the fuck is going on here? What the fuck with this cat shit cookies bullshit? This drama, this weird tweaky bullshit that comes from this guy. Like his fucking favorite drink. The Fireball tax. I pay your taxes. Look at my Fireball. I pay taxes on Fireball. I steal the neighbor's Wi-Fi. I live rent-free in a shed. And I ride my bike around the same 13 blocks where the radio's all encrypted because it has been everywhere I've gone. But I'm an OG. Yo. Yeah, you're gonna not like that. You're not gonna like any of that shit. See, look, there's all kinds of these examples that I'm trying to point out of, like, when they throw their little 2 cents in, the 2 cent Fireball tax. They think they're so important. And what they're doing is Google is monetizing these channels. You're not bringing any good content. You're just, there's dead air like a motherfucker. You just stand outside and then you say the occasional thing and you pander to your audience and and you give them a platform to communicate and get together like a gang online to go and report and follow other YouTube pages that you don't like and either spam them or share them or steal the content or just plain don't let anybody associated with those accounts to have any association with yours. It's a matter of free speech. I'm a free speech defender. I defend free speech. And I keep trying to make these videos for you guys to see, and I've got another page here, where we go into trying to put a history to it and document it, and like how I've said over and over and over again that this guy is a danger to society. This is somebody who broke into my home, has absolutely no remorse, doesn't admit that he did it when he obviously did. He came to my house and slept on the couch for 2 days. I was like, red flag, red flag. So ever since I've ever known this guy, and I don't know any of his other people other than what they share their entire lives on YouTube, because they think it's so interesting to go and stare at parked cop cars and talk shit and cater to an audience of January 6th insurrectionists, Trump-loving, alt-right Christian, fucking homophobic, anti-Asian, alt-right mentality, which is a boomer mentality. And they appeal to people, in Colorado. They this is the way they all live. They want you to think they don't live like that, but that's the way they live. Not much. And they're angry at the police for it, because people like Tom Zebra tries to tell them that shit, you should be, if you're gonna be, you're down on your luck, then go fuck with police or go fuck cops' lives up. That shit ain't gonna fly in a fucking court, man. No way. No way. And the sheer stupidity of these cops, except for Officer Lee here, who is clearly like, hey, I'm gonna control my crime scene, and I gave you a verbal warning, and then you just defied it, so here we go, right? Now you forced me to fucking arrest you. And then little drama queen boy makes a big fucking deal out of it. Everybody shares his video, and then he gets no new subscribers. The only time he gets subscribers is his birthday was the last time. He got a 2,000 spike or something like that. He had everybody share his recent video, and he got no new subscribers. He claims to have 136 subscribers, which I believe is inflated. I believe that he gets views, and there's a good core audience of 20,000 people that think that he's just the bee's knees. They don't know nothing else. They don't know anybody else. And they're also fellow circle jerkers. The SoCal Frauditor circle jerk. The Frauditors and the Sov citizens, they fucking circle jerk each other off. It's like their own little private thing, and they don't want to be exposed. They're working on plans. They're doing, things like, shooting up a fucking, or running into a house that's, with a stolen truck. They're thinking about ways to ambush cops, just walk right up them like it's a fucking GTA game. And these people are being indoctrinated online by people like Tom Zebra. And I keep fucking throwing up these red flags, man. You gotta see some of these fucking videos. I mean, the guy is just literally insane. And something needs to be done about this person's monetization and the ability to slander, hate, defame, attack races, and cater and propel this gang mentality into the future. I don't like it. It's gone. I've tried my best to raise all these flags. Cheers to all the people who can change their minds when information contradicts their beliefs. Amen to that. You can scroll around all these pages. I've set them up. I'll put the links in the description. There's a lot of content to be gathered. There's a lot more that has never come out. I think that I can't keep up with the bullshit. I really don't like to. People like this that threaten to kill Nancy Pelosi online. It's just stupidity on their parts. They're the most criminal fucking people, and they're trying to tell you how to fucking film police. lying constantly being called out and lies. And like, people get instantly banned for bringing up these things instantly, like it's his own little bubble. They don't want to hear none of it. They can do no wrong, and here's a series of videos where he's really butthurt about Eric Brandt, but then realizes, oh shit, okay sir, whatever you say sir, okay sir. I mean, it's just realizations to anybody who thinks that this guy's legit, and he's not fucking legit. Here's your fucking know your nut jobs. I mean, you might have to go to the page and see all that, but that's who it is. Incels, anti-Semites, fucking tinfoil hat. Oh God, jeez. So there's interesting conversations with people that know him well that talk to me, and I'll say, hey man, gotta put that up. I'm gonna put that up. That's funny. And it's interesting how they will ban you for saying liar or boring. Like, you can sit there and spam liar, 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 liar. You say the word liar, unless you're saying cops are liars. They have a very specific First Amendment. It's very catered towards them. They're everyone's a mod, everybody's behind the shadows, everybody's, all on the same page about ambushing cops and using YouTube to get paid for it, because somehow that might be, some glitch in the matrix or some little loophole that they've found. And that's exactly what it is. And don't let him fool you. He's only been doing it for 7 years. He keeps saying, oh, I've been doing this for 20 fucking years. You have one video of you setting up a bunch of cameras in your car, going on a drive, tweaked out of your fucking mind, and like paranoid as fuck, and trying to get footage. Yeah, you're the godfather of frauditing, that's for sure. You're definitely the fucking champ of that. E-begging, all that stuff. These how these people survive. People like Eric Brandt. If you do any research on Eric Brandt, this guy constantly threatened law enforcement, judges, everybody. Oh, it's my free speech. But he was super annoying at doing it, and super combative, and just looking for a fight all the time. I thought he was like just fucking terrible, but I didn't realize that YouTube pays these people to do it. I guess it gets view time. Why are Google AdSense paying these channels like Tom Zebra? Why are they paying them to spread this fucking hate? I just don't. It doesn't compute. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's a platform for anti-vaxxers, Q conspiracy nut theories, religious nuts. It's a disturbing group of people, and there's a heavy amount of drug use. You could see it. I don't understand. They go to these DUI checkpoints and they start filming, and they're high as fuck. And the cops are like, oh yeah, there's not much we can do because you're like walking around with a camera, and we're afraid of the flood call. You might flood call us, so I'm just tired of it. I'm fucking tired of it. I'm tired of these mass shootings. I'm tired of these fucking gun nut, fucking right-wing, alt-right, white lives matter, fucking disguised bullshit, QAnon conspiracy nuts. Just can't accept it. You lost. And I keep bringing up these red flags. I've been very successful. There's 3 people that are no longer active, and I'm not going to shout them out because they're dead to me at this point. But people still feed into Tom Zebra, and they still think they're getting good advice. But really, he is kind of the whole thing. It's kind of like they're all behind him. They think that he's the soft sit leader, like he's like that. One day they treat him like they hate Scientology, but they treat him like he's the I don't even know what the Scientology guy's name is. They treat him like the guy L. Ron Hubbard that came up with that shit. Like that's what they treat Tom Zebra like he's like the Godfather. He's like the Godfather. He's been doing this for so long, and the only reason they do that is because they're trying to erase Garth Nader, and they're just trying to erase the fact that they know that one day, you know, it's you know, something you can't erase. One day you're going to be sitting there watching regular television, and you're going to be watching some television program or streaming, and you're going to be like, oh shit, my videos will be forever shown, so I'm not even worried. I didn't need YouTube. I think YouTube is too exposing, like situations like this. Like I keep talking about it, and I expose myself in the process. I just think it's a big enough deal that people need to stop paying attention to it, stop funding it, stop donating to it, stop watching it, and you know. But it's definitely a circle jerk. It's definitely a large group of people that know that they're on the radar now, and the algorithms have shifted, and their view counts are down, and they're, you know, always being called into question on their fucking content. And if anybody is on YouTube to you know, filming police to make money, like it's not profitable. It's really not. There's other factors that come into play when you consider people that have been, and there's not really anyone that has. It's not a, you know, it's not a lucrative business, but if you happen to connect with like-minded people, you can carve out a little sector of it. And if you all circle jerk each other off and always name drop and always copy pasta all the time, then you know, then you can maintain your little circle, and you can do your little talking points, and you've got it all. Like you think you're a journalist, like you're like on YouTube you're a journalist because you have an iPhone and you have, you know, the ability. Like I'm not. I'm just giving this is like a vlog. It's a personal vlog. Isn't that what YouTube is? Giving my opinion. This isn't monetized. I'm not gonna make any money from this. Fuck, I risked getting sued by even showing this image. It's probably a fucking Getty image. You know, I mean, there's so many different things that red flags that I've called out, and I really would love to see this person in prison. I really think that he's a danger. I really think that his community is a danger. I think that they are dangerous. I think they're gang affiliated. I can prove a lot of all of this. I have proved plenty. I don't need to put single thing out. But you know, it's all backed up and backed up and backed up and shared and shared and shared. But for some reason, YouTube is just not listening, has their blinders up. They don't understand this community. They just hear First Amendment and they're like, fuck, we're not touching it, right? We're not going near it because they said First Amendment. They said poster 7. I mean, it's like, Jesus Christ. I've contributed to that kind of stupidity on YouTube as well. Cops don't give a fuck about YouTube. They don't. You're just training other cops. You're just giving them examples and things. You know, they live 24/7. They're a fucking cop. They come home, they're home with their family or whatever, and they're trying to escape, and they watch fucking Tom Zebra videos and get trained on how to deal with such certain situations. This is what he does. Everywhere he goes, he gets the radio encrypted. So, I mean, he hasn't done any good. He's only done harm. He's only done harm by being selfish, by making it all about him. And, you know, that's really a problem. And I don't mind calling it out.